Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Gunnar Kinnaman, and today we are back in the workshop again after quite a while. Today I want to take another look at this old Murray lawn tractor that I did a video on a while back. I've had a few issues with it. Well, one reoccurring issue mainly, the carburetor. So, when I first got this running, the very first time, as you saw in the video, it ran great. It idled, and at like mid-throttle, it ran smooth, not a single misfire, nothing. And then, like half a year later, when I finally rebuilt the deck and got it working, I would try to mow with it and it would try to die, like it wasn't getting enough fuel. So I was like, okay, the carburetor needs to be re-cleaned. So I re-cleaned the carburetor and that worked ish. It mowed a little bit better, but after a while it would still try to die. And sometimes you couldn't, every time you would engage the blades, it would severely bog down the engine. So I was like, okay, I'm going to clean it again. So I cleaned the carburetor again. Did the deepest clean that I could possibly do. And I also bought a rebuild kit for that carburetor. Which, by the way, if you're doing one of these Briggs Opposed twin engines and it's got the Walbro carburetor on it, and how you can tell if it's a Walbro is if you look at the front of it where the fuel pump is. If the fuel pump has 3 screws instead of 4, it's a Walbro. But the thing is that they don't make anything for the Walbro carburetors anymore. You can't buy anything aftermarket from any official site. You can't buy it from Briggs. You can't buy a new Walbro carburetor. I don't think they make them anymore. So, but there is a guy on eBay that sells rebuild kits for the Walbro carburetors, and I've bought 2 of them in the past. I've actually bought one in the past week, and I'm waiting for it to get here for this mower. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I bought a rebuild kit back then, and I took the carburetor off, disassembled it, rebuilt it with that rebuild kit, put all new gaskets in it. That made a world difference. It started mowing great after that. You would engage the blades, the engine didn't even notice it, and it mowed great. And then after a while, when the next mowing season came around, this past mowing season, I got it running again after it had been sitting, and it started up great. So, it had sat for like 6 months, and I put a battery in it, started it, and it ran great. So I was like, okay, I guess I ain't got to do anything. And I went out there, tried to mow with it, and it started doing the same thing. So just to get by, what I did is I took that choke and I put it at half choke. And if you remember from the first video we did on this, you would remember that the choke was seized on the carburetor. So I finally got it a little bit loose. I didn't want to get it too loose because whatever setting I put it at, I wanted it to stay there. So I got it a little bit loose and I put it about half choke. That seemed to fix it. It started mowing again with no issues, no bogging down. And I mowed like that about 4 times. And then the choke got way too loose. It completely freed up. So I couldn't keep it at the same setting. I used baling wire to try to act as a stop for it and keep it at the same setting, and it would always move around and stuff like that. So I was like, alright, screw it, I'll just try to clean the carburetor again, that way I won't have to use the choke. Well, I tried to do that. I went through, cleaned it all out, and it stopped running altogether after I did that. It stopped running altogether. I couldn't start it back up after that. And on top of that, I accidentally broke off the tab for the choke. I broke off the tab that the cable is supposed to connect to. So that's great. So I'm here today to try to. That was like 4 months ago when that happened. And I'm back today to try to figure it out. So I've got a good used carburetor that I ordered. After like an hour of searching on eBay, I finally found a guy that's got a used carburetor, or a Walbro carburetor. You can buy those Nicky carburetors aftermarket that will fit this mower, but from what I've heard, they're junk. So I wanted to find a Walbro carburetor. So I found a guy that was selling a used carburetor, and in the description he said it was tested and working, but you never know. So while I was at it, I went ahead and bought another rebuild kit for that carburetor. That way when it gets here, I can go ahead and put new gaskets and new everything in it, and hopefully it'll be good. And then we'll put that carburetor on this mower, and hopefully it'll get rid of its issues. So I've already got the hood disconnected. So let's take a look. So right here is where you're going to want to look to tell whether your carburetor is a Walbro or a Nicky. The Walbros have 1, 2, 3 screws, and they're in a triangular pattern. The Nicky carburetors, the fuel pump will be perfectly rectangular, and it will have 4 screws, 1 in each corner. And another way you can tell is the Walbros they actually have adjustments on the carburetor, like your high speed, low speed adjustments. The Nicky carburetors have like none. They don't have any adjustments. Another reason why I don't like them. Another reason why I don't like them, because I like being able to have adjustments. So let's take this off. Hopefully no water got down in the intake. I really hope so. Well, it's still moving freely, so. Yeah, I guess it's good. Okay. I'm gonna block that off real quick. Get all that crap out of there. You know, if I wasn't so lazy, I could have just put the frickin' cover back on. Okay, I need tools, so let me get some. Okay. Got my tools. So first, we're gonna need an 8mm to take these here. Okay. Okay, we'll just do that. Well, you know, you could get an extension and you wouldn't have to deal with that. Wow, see how much of a difference that makes, Gunner? You see that? You see that? I do see that. Man, it's almost like when you do things the easier way, it's easier. Who would have thought of that? Be real careful when you're taking these screws out, because you do not want them to accidentally fall over and go down the carburetor. because then you gotta unmount the whole carburetor. You gotta take the intake manifold off to try to get it out of there. It's a real pain, and that's just something you shouldn't have to deal with if you don't have to. Did that sentence even make sense? Okay, so what's nice about these carburetors is that you can do almost a full cleaning on them without even having to take them off. All you gotta do is take these top mounting bolts off. Okay, so you should be able to just lift this top up by now, which there's a gasket underneath it, so you know you might have to struggle with that because it'll most likely stick. But and as you can see, there's the tab, or what used to be the tab for the choke, and I broke it, and now it's seized up. Oh, never mind, it's not seized up anymore. Now you want to try to not destroy the gasket if you don't have to. And you want the gasket to come up with the top part when you're taking it off. Do not try to leave it on the body because, well, you'll see. Just you need the gasket to come up with the top as you're taking it off. So you want to take them both off at the same time. Just like that. And the bowl is bone dry. That's weird. See, this is the reason why you want the gasket to come up with the top part, because it's in between the top and the float bowl, or the bowl float. And by the way, you always want to make sure that your float level is correct while you're at it. And as you can see, mine is about right. If it sits level compared to the... If the camera would focus, if the float sits level compared to the surface of the top part, then your level is correct. If you go into your carburetor and the bowl is dry, that might mean that your fuel pump isn't working, because there's supposed to be gas sitting in here. Let me go ahead and try to take this, whatever it's called, Walsh plug or whatever. I should be able to take it out the rest of the way. There we go. This is really just a drain plug for your bowl, but your jet is right in front of this. So if you're spraying car spray and you need to clear that out, you want to take this plug out, that way you can spray out. So you can use a flathead on these fuel pump screws, or you can use, I think it's a 1/4 inch socket. I'm just going to use a flathead. Now you want to hold this together as you're taking these screws out, because there's a lot of components inside, and if you don't hold it together, they might just fall over the place and you won't know how it went back together. This is your fuel line on the side, and this is your vacuum line for the fuel pump. Carefully take those off, and it needs a new vacuum line. Probably half the reason why it ain't working. Alright, now carefully, there's gaskets in here and everything. Try to keep them in place as you're pulling this out. And look at that. flawless. This is one of your diaphragm gaskets. Make sure you never spray carburetor spray on these gaskets, ever. And I wish I would have known that before I did that, because I did do that. But I later learned you never ever do that, because it will ruin those gaskets. Probably another reason why they ain't work, why this fuel pump ain't working. And there's these teensy tiny little springs. Try to keep those on some kind of tray or something where they're never gonna fall and go somewhere. And boom, there's your main piece for the fuel pump. And then there's another gasket in there. Just leave it in there because there's nothing behind it. It's just the plate. So you might as well just leave that gasket in there and just leave it alone. And there's another spring right here. Both the springs are the same. So if you get them mixed up, don't get too scared because they're literally the same spring. So, boom, now you've just got the bare, disassembled carburetor. So, I don't even have any carburetor spray. Luckily, my brother had some I could use. I'll buy him a new can, but today is Sunday and the parts store ain't open. I could go get that cheap crap from Dollar General, but I don't want to use that cheap crap. I want that Barry Mows 100-year anniversary. I'm pretty sure that was last year, but whatever. Make sure that's clear. And just make sure you clean out every passage. And then make sure you clean out all these tubes and passages that are in the center. Well, that should be all the passages cleared out. Just like that. I'll go ahead and clean off this, the main body. I want to see if I can get new hoses, at least for the vacuum line, because there is no way that's pulling in any suction. My camera battery died, so I had to wait for the battery charge, and in the meantime I trimmed up some of the hedges by the workshop, but anyway, that's besides the point. So I think I'm ready to put this back together. I'm just going to do one more clean out since I trimmed the hedges. Just in case it's, you know, dirt or something down in there. God! Oh my God. Got me in the eye again. Jesus, that burns. Don't get in your eye. Don't do that. Alright, let's spray this carefully. I finally was able to get the new vacuum line set up, so that's ready to go. These hose clamps, they are barely, like, they're not tight anymore. They're barely I mean, that's with it closed, and it just spins on there. So I'm just going to use a little loop of baling wire, and I'll, twist it around. That way it'll, do the same purpose. And go ahead and put the fuel pump and all that back together. Like I said, never spray the gaskets with carb cleaner or anything that's like alcohol based. Just don't spray them. If you want to clean them, use soap and water. And don't get the water too hot, because then you might shrink them. So that big spring sets in there like that, because that's what pushes that circular diaphragm part of that. And then you want to put your first spring. Make sure that spring is clean. Put your first spring over that plastic nipple, so to speak, like that. Then go ahead and put your gasket on like that. You want the diaphragm to be facing outward. Then set that to the side. Then take your other spring, make sure it's clean, not got any dirt or stuff caught in it. Put that spring back there. There's a little metal nipple in the metal body of the fuel pump. It sticks out, you'll see it. And then put this main body with the gasket. You're gonna have to hold it. You have to hold the gasket while you do this. Try to make sure your fingers are clean so you don't get dirt and crap in there. And just hold it. And it's got a plastic little pin right there, and that goes in the far left hole. That kind of holds it in place. Try to make sure the gasket is flat, and boom, just like that. Now put that cover you set aside. Make sure you have it facing the right way up, like that. Then start putting your screws back in. You want to get them tight, but not too tight. Just kind of snug them up. This one I can't get too tight because the head's all messed up. That should be good. And I got a new vacuum line, so just put that on. Or nope, goes on the bottom, you idiot. And be careful with the hose mounts, because when these fuel pumps get old, that plastic gets real brittle. And if you pull side to side too much or pull it down too much, if you've got a stuck hose and you're trying to get it off, if you pull on it too hard, you'll break those mounts off, and then you got to get a new fuel pump or a whole new carburetor. So, and if you don't have any hose clamps on you, just get a small piece of baling wire, make one loop towards the top of the hose or towards the end, cross them like that, make a few twists by hand, make like 3 twists, and then take a pair of pliers and start twisting it with the pliers. Just do like 2 twists. 2 twists is good enough. And leave those sticking out, that way if you gotta take them back off, you have an easy access with your pliers. And that's, you know, that's sealed. That ain't gonna come off. I think I need to get I should probably put a new fuel line in while I'm at it. Or at least cut this one back a little bit to get that cracked end off. See if I can just cut it right here. Oh yeah, that works. Apply some slack. There we go. When you're putting these hoses on, just try to push it straight forward. Don't shake it back and forth. Just try to push it straight forward. It's harder to do it that way, but you're less likely to break that mount. Because I've done that before. And I had to throw the whole thing away. This hose clamp is still good, so put that back on. Well, actually it's not. Go ahead and put our drain plug back in. I don't see any dirt or debris on the gasket down there, so I should be able to just set this right in. Oh shoot, I forgot to do something. Hold on. I forgot to clean the upper body. Alright, I was able to take it off. So I realized, I think I know the reason why it wasn't running good last time. Or why it stopped running altogether when I cleaned that carburetor the last time. I put the gasket on upside down. So this gasket, it's easy to put it on upside down, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this gasket is pretty much perfectly symmetrical. So if you were to put it on the other way, you wouldn't even know. It'd be hard to tell unless you look close. But if you put it on the wrong way, it won't run. And here's why. The upper body has these 3 passages. And if you notice, they're positioned a little more to that way. They're cocked a little to the side from that main intake hole. If you put it on this way, like this is how I had it. If you put it on this way, where the holes are cocked to this way, one of those holes will get blocked off. Put it on this way, it don't get blocked off. Now I had it on the wrong way. So I think that might be the reason why it stopped running. So I already cleaned out all those passages. So we're gonna go ahead and put everything back together. Let's go ahead and put this back on before we test it. Alright, I've got a battery put in, got a bottle of gas, and now all I need is a screwdriver. I can use this. I just need something to cross the cylinder with. Okay, I'm not going to pour any gas in it for now because a bunch of that carburetor spray from me cleaning the carburetor is probably already in the intake, so we're just gonna try to crank it and see what it does. Come on now. Yeah, and that choke is already trying to choke itself already. I'm gonna get some baling wire. Well, how can I do that when I can't even? How do I? Well, maybe I can just take the choke plate out altogether. Oh man, that could have been bad. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Look at that. All put back together, tires aired up. I've oiled the steering mechanism. And look, I fixed these a while back. Okay, well the left one quit working, but what are we waiting for? Let's go see if it'll mow. Pull it back real slow because I don't even know if those are the right belts, but if I pull it back too fast, it'll put if I put all that slack in the belt at once, sometimes it throws off the belt. Woo-wee! Like a new unit! Alright. So, one of the reasons why I wanted to fix that is because I got some grass back here that I need to cut. So I'll set up the tripod and y'all can watch me mow a little bit. Except for around the C10. It's got 2 flat tires. can't mow underneath it, so I'll just have to do that with a weed eater. But all this right here need a cut. But first I gotta move Tater. And heck yeah, let's get her done. For a 40-something-year-old mower, that cuts grass pretty good. Fits right in with my 1980 C10 and my 77 Chevy, the Tater. Well, I think I'm going to mow some more of the yard with this while I got it running. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like if you'd be willing to, and subscribe to stay tuned for future videos whenever they may come. That mower never ceases to amaze me. 40-year-old lawn tractor, and I was able to get it running. Didn't cost me a dime. Literally, like, I didn't spend a single dime besides getting gas for it. I mean, it is amazing how that old stuff is. So, I hope you had a great day, and until next time, goodbye. Peace out, guys. Have a good day.